Boredar or Pranandar every pony. This is BronyDan. It's not original, but hey, you try coming up channelty these days. Okay, folks. Here we are. We've come to the episode that could very well possibly make it on the list of some of the absolute worst that this series has to offer. I don't care if it's the last season and I should be a bit more lenient with it. No, crap is crap, and this episode is ungodly crap. Well, let's take a look on why this episode is such utter tripe by looking at the blatant lie of a title, 246 Greaaat. We open with...
I was a little shocked when Princess Celestia told me she wanted to start a scholastic buckball league, but I was even more surprised that she wanted the first game to be between her school and ours.
Really? Another buckball-related episode? Are there literally no other sports in Equestria that deserve more focus? I mean, I know in Wales our national sport is rugby, but come on, we at least give cricket a time to shine once in a while. Anyway, Twilight wants Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy and Snails to coach the Friendship School buckball team, but for Rainbow Dash...
I knew I could count on your enthusiasm. That's why I want you to coach the cheer squad. Cheerleading?
Okay, now, before we go any further with this review, I just want to apologise in advance if this review is not as entertaining as usual or if it's not as funny, because there is a reason for that. This episode is just so bad, it pretty much leaves me speechless. Nothing I could think of could help me in describing how much of a mess this episode is. Well, I guess I'll just start with the utmost obvious reason why this episode is such a mess, and that is because Rainbow Dash is just 100% unlikable. And I mean like mysterious ne'er-do-well unlikable. She clearly doesn't want anything to do with cheerleading, which is fine, but she literally just spends the entire episode bitching and complaining and just downright insulting them.
Guess they think you can make Cheer Squad cool or something. Don't count on it.
This is like the equivalent of me mocking the props department when I was made an assistant stage manager at my local theatre. Every little thing of any type of activity is important, including cheerleading, since, as I recently discovered, it helps in boosting morale and building confidence in players and spectators. But even if you don't know that, again, you shouldn't go around belittling a part of an industry you yourself are a part of.
So it wasn't great. Cheerleading's never great. That's why every pony gets up to get a snack during it.
There are just so many ways you could have done this episode. I mean, like, having Rainbow Dash actually trying to get involved but not knowing how to. Or, better yet, change the character. Because you know who I think would have been a better choice for this story? Gallus. He just seems like the type of character who would object to this type of activity, and because he's also a student, he benefits from learning the moral at the end. Not Rainbow Dash, whom we've had 9 seasons to know and to understand how she responds to certain things, so we know when she's being a bitch, especially since, you know, she was encouraging Fluttershy to cheer for her back in season 1. Look, again, I'm sorry if I'm just ranting. I haven't been talking about anything else in the episode. But that's the problem. This is literally the entire episode. I've tried to think of some ways of mentioning the new characters like Shimmy, Shake and Lightfoot, Snips' continual down spiral into absolute prickishness, seeing Yona, Ocellus and Smolder on the team, even a backhanded mention of Zecora.
A rhyming dictionary? Yeah, Zecora's a lot less helpful than you think.
But that's the problem. All these things just get dissolved in this cauldron of shittiness that in the end they just become inconsequential to what's happening in the story. It's one of the few times in which I genuinely didn't give a shit about what was going to happen. Even at the end, when Rainbow Dash manages to finally realize what a terrible character she's been, tries to work it out, and then Twilight gives her the friendship message.
Was this one of those things where you knew the lesson I needed to learn before I learned it? You mean like how you don't have to care about a thing other ponies like as long as you care about the ponies who like it? Nope, don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, fuck you, Twilight. This is just as much your fault. And that, my friends, is the worst thing we've seen since non-compete clause last season. I have no idea what went wrong with this episode, but they just fucked it up. It just seems like everything was just set up to fail. The characterization, the plot, even the moral just seems like they really didn't know how to make it work. Even if you don't like something, even if it's a part of something you're passionate about, at least give it some respect. For example, I hate Annie. Yeah, I said it. I think it's too sugar-coated and sweet even by musical theatre standards, while it's also being a rip-off of Oliver without any of the charm. Yet I'm still going to be performing in it later this year. This offends everyone and pleases no one. It's offensive to Rainbow Dash fans, it's offensive to people who actually do cheerleading, and it's just offensive to fans in general. Completely 100% skippable. And since this is an episode about cheerleading, I can only think of one cheerleader chant to end this episode. Ninja Sex Party, take it away!
G-O-F-U-C-K-Y-O-U-R-S-L Wishing you and all your family some good and happy health? No. Did you get the message? Have you cracked the code? Do you know which self you ought to fuck and where you have to go? That's right. I'm pretty sure you get it. A big smart guy like you. The time is drawing nearer, so you know just what to do. Okay, everyone. Here we go.